This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. Can't mess with the S. I'm going to say that again. Can't mess with the S. I'm going to say that again. Can't mess with the S. For any of you guys that haven't seen that 2018 Death of Superman, now that's how you do it, man. That was a good animated movie. I told you, I'm a big comic book fan, man. I love that movie. That movie was on point, but I felt like, it could have made Supes a little stronger because he's my favorite superhero. I'm a little biased, but I guess they don't want to make Superman too strong, but Superman's way stronger than that. But hats off to Doomsday, man. He did his thing, but, I'm not going to be a spoiler alert for anyone. Just check that movie out. It came out the end of July, beginning of August, so I would check it out, definitely. It's a must check. But in this video, I want to talk about the difference between anabolism, between catabolism. Basically, these are two scientific ways of looking at someone who, is filled with vigor, has vitality, has the ability and energy to do things, as opposed to someone, who's waning. That's the way I would look at it. And I'm going to talk about that more in detail, what that means and things of that nature. Catabolism and anabolism are two things that we can't get away from in life. We all have the ability to tap into our anabolic effect, and we all have catabolism that ravages us. Okay, how does catabolism ravage us? Catabolism is just a scientific way of basically saying, aging, degradation, cell implosion or cells dying, free radical damage. So catabolism is happening to us on a daily level. Some of us is happening to us on a more exponential level than others. Hence, that's why some of us, age faster than others, and some of us die more prematurely, or some of us have, health issues. Inflammation, is a clear sign of catabolic activity taking its effect. Catabolism basically affects us on a daily level. This is why it's imperative, and I keep telling you guys, your health, you got to treat it like your number one wealth, and you got to make sure that you prescribe to a well-balanced and nutrient-dense diet. You got to make sure that you're eating right. You got to make sure that you're working out, because what you're doing with catabolism, it's not something that you can, unless you're God Almighty, which God forbid none of us aren't. We all are gonna die. That's just the reality. That's the inevitability. You got to treat catabolism like black seed oil. Like how they say black seed oil cures everything but death. There's a reason for that. Well, catabolism, is what causes us to die, either fastly or slowly on a daily basis. But the way that we can slow the aging process down to the crawl from the free radical damage, that we constantly get, the oxidation that we constantly are getting on a daily basis, is by us implementing a healthy lifestyle. See, when you implement a healthy lifestyle into your life and you incorporate that and you live by that and you stay consistent, then you have hence slowed down the catabolic effect down to a crawl, and you can look youthful. That term when they say, man, he or she have aged, fine like wine, like vino, or they've aged gracefully. These terms didn't just, get hatched out of nowhere. They came from a place. It means that either through genetics and a combination of taking care of yourself, or some people are just that blessed in that regard where they just have that super genetic, to where they just don't age rapidly. Everything is like, a slow crawl process for them. Some people are super blessed in that regard. I don't think I am, and I don't want to take any chances. So what I do to ensure that I slow the aging process down to the crawl is I try to have that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, mentality or work ethic. I try to make sure I do what I have to do and be, the most competitive that I can be at it, which is to eat right, sleep well, and train my body hard and just do that consistently, and I believe that if I follow that and I limit stress, because stress is another thing that can slow the aging process down to a crawl. Another time, another video, I'm just going to talk about stress itself and how when you keep your stress low, it promotes an anabolic effect. But catabolism is something that we just can't run away from. Remember, I gave that example of that rose. Do you want to be that budding, thriving young rose that lives a prolonged life through adopting healthy lifestyle? Or do you want to be that rose, that wilters away and dies before its time because you had a sedentary lifestyle? See, these are the things that you have to think about. These are the life decisions and the life consequences that us as humans, us as humanoids, we make, and we just have to live with the decisions and the outcomes of our decision making. See, this is why in life God has given us a free will. We have a choice. Everything is a choice. For the most part, everything's a choice. Certain things, you're born with them genetically, and you can't help it because of family pool and family ties to your genetics. But we have a choice to make, and health is a choice. It's either you're gonna adopt and prescribe to it, or you're not. And then that's just the bottom line. But on to the context of the difference between anabolism and catabolism. Catabolism is something we can't run away from. I'm gonna say that again, because just when we step out, like for instance, I'm outside. I deal with the elements. When you hear me say you're dealing with the elemental environments, you're talking about, the environment. You're talking about the earth, Mother Nature. There's contamination everywhere you go, through vehicles that are driving, people, we are our own contamination, whether we're healthy or not, because we have free radical damage, that's constantly taking a toll on us, and it's causing us to age, whether slowly and gracefully, or whether fastly and rapidly. Either way, we're aging. And this is how the catabolic effect takes its toll, through age and attrition. So what you want to do to reverse some things, and to slow it down to a crawl, or make it go so slowly, like your boy here, Superman, or, Wonder Woman, because I want to be unisex here, is you want to make sure that you adopt a healthy lifestyle. Because when you adopt a healthy lifestyle, and what a healthy lifestyle looks like is you're limiting your stress, you're eating right, you're eating wholesome, well-balanced, nutrient-dense foods, things like cacao nibs, man. That's an anti-aging superfood. Blueberries, anti-aging superfood. All the berries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries. There's one that's even better than all of them that I haven't talked about in a previous video, but it's called black currant. Oh man, I just found out about that berry, just doing some research on that. It has anywhere between 8 to 16 times the antioxidant activity that blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, and raspberries does. I'm gonna say that again. It has anywhere, and you see my eyes is just like popping, because I'm like, man, where can I get black currant? The thing is, it's rare. That's what sucks. You can't just get it. It's seasonal at stores and stuff like that. But this joker got anywhere between 8 to 16 times the antioxidant activity that blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, and raspberries have. You're talking about that much more antioxidant effects, activity happening to your body, man, that just slows your aging process down to the crawl. See, antioxidants, you're going to hear me talk about that a lot. They're very good for you, because antioxidants, they pretty much prevent, man, and then they just help to eliminate free radical damage that takes toll on your body. Basically, what it's doing with antioxidants and foods that have antioxidants is it just basically turns your body from all catabolism and all this catabolic effect into anabolism, anabolic effect. And see, this is the thing. You want anabolism. You want your body to have that anabolic effect as much as possible. There's no such thing as being 100% anabolic all the time. When you're sleeping, you're resting, so yes, you're promoting health through sleeping and things of that nature, but the body has a good fine balance between its natural levels of anabolism and catabolism, which is healthy. And you want your body to go through that process. Your body can't always be anabolic, because it's not always, the engines are not always churning. Your energy is not always going. There's a period of rest. There's a period of relaxation. There's a period of, you taking in, environmental contamination and things like that. So there's a balance. The thing is, you want to have as much anabolic activity as possible, because when your body is as anabolic as possible, it stays youthful. It has vitality, and it keeps you young, man. It keeps you alive. It keeps you having that yearning sex drive. It keeps you, being able to go out there and concentrate and focus, and it promotes, longevity, the stuff that I talk about, and it helps you to just stay healthy for a long period of time. You're talking about even when you get into your mature ages, and mature age for me is 70 and up, you will feel youthful. I gave Jack LaLanne, the staple of health, one of my mentors, as an example. This man died at 96 years old, but he was feeling like he was in his 50s and 60s when he died at 96. How many of us can say that? That's a true testament. And hats off again to this man. That's a true testament of health. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Do we all have to strive for that? No, but don't you want, if you could live that long, don't you want to feel like you're in your 60s or 70s at least? If you're in your 90s? I mean, come on. It's possible. And all it takes is for us to make lifestyle changes. If we make lifestyle changes to our health, then we can keep our bodies as anabolic as possible. Anabolism. This is the difference between that young and thriving and budding rose, as opposed to catabolism, which is that wilting and dying rose that fleets away. I don't know about you guys, man, but I'm trying to live on this earth as long as I can, and I'm trying to get as much as I can while I can, because, YOLO, you only live once. You're not going to be here again. So while you're here, you want to maximize the opportunities that you have. And your health should be your number one wealth, because if your health is intact, you can take care of all this other stuff. You can get businesses, you can have a mortgage, a house, you can, have a productive and great job. You can have relationship, family, marriage, whatever that looks like to you. You can go out there and have hobbies, hang out with your friends here and there, play sports, work out, yoga, the list goes on and on, different hobbies. But in order for you to be able to do all of that, you need your health intact. And see, me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm trying to be as anabolic as I possibly can. Things that can make you anabolic, besides having a good, wholesome, rich diet, sleeping well and training your body hard, is intermittent fasting, or any type of fasting. When you fast, man, especially when you go 12 hours or more, your glycogen, your glucose level baselines. And when that happens, anyone that knows what I'm talking about that's been fasted, they could attest to this. Your HGH, which is AKA your human growth hormone, that thing, it spikes, man. It goes up. And your drive for anything, focus, concentration, sex drive, mental acuity, concentration, I could tell you right now, 90% to 100% of these videos that I do is through fasting, because I have all the concentration and all the energy in the world. I would not tell you guys about, seriously considering fasting into your life if I didn't try it myself. And that's one thing you guys are going to understand. I won't tell you to do something that I haven't been willing to do myself. That is what a leader does. A leader leads by example. They don't just run their mouth. You know what I'm saying? They tell you something, but guess what? They've already went through the trenches. They rolled their sleeves up. They got down and dirty, and they did it themselves. Now, from their experience, they can tell you, hey, it's worked for them. Now you try it for yourself, and you do your research. And if it works for you, guess what? Do it. And if it doesn't, guess what? Boo-hoo, don't do it. I'm not going to be sad that it didn't work for you. Not everyone, fasting or stuff that I'm mentioning is going to work for you. Got to know what works for you. And I'm a big proponent of that. There's no cookie cutter approach here. I'm not in the business of telling you to do something because I do it. I'm in the business of telling you based on my research and based on my experience, which is more than the research, because the research is just talking, but the experience is walking it. It's walking that talk. And when you walk that talk, you can sit back and tell people, hey, I've done it. I've seen it from my experience, and now I can tell you. And see, this is the thing. Going back to anabolism and catabolism, you want to be as anabolic as possible, because when you're like that, telling you, man, your energy levels are high, man. You're always feeling good. I'm 36 years old, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I feel like I'm in my young 20s. You know, my wife can attest to that. You know, like I feel like I'm in my young 20s. And the reason why I feel like that is because I've adopted 4 principles: eating right, sleeping well, having, working out intensely, and limiting my stress as much as possible. Are you going to run away from stress? No, but you want to limit that bad boy as much as possible, because when you do that, you have an anabolic effect. Hence, you maximize your testosterone, because when your HGH is at its highest levels, then for males, your testosterone production is maximized. For females, your estrogen level is balanced. A woman's estrogen level, which is her primary hormone, and I'm going to explain. A woman's primary hormone is her estrogen. Her secondary hormone is her testosterone when it comes to sexual hormones. A male's sexual hormone, primary one, is his testosterone, and secondary is estrogen. See, when you have too much estrogen as a male, then it could promote man boobs, and it could promote overweightness. It could promote you basically, being obese. It could promote, all kinds of things that inhibit feminine tendencies. When you are a female, if you have too much testosterone, then it can promote things that would make you too masculine in structure and physical structure and things of that nature. This is why, as women, I'm saying women, as women, you are created to have more estrogen as your primary sexual hormone and testosterone as your secondary hormone. And men, vice versa. You're created to have more testosterone as your primary hormone and estrogen as your secondary hormone. So men, what you want to do is you want to make sure you adopt a healthy lifestyle, because what it does is it's going to maximize your primary hormone, and it's going to keep your secondary hormone at its lowest level. And women, the opposite effect takes place. Your estrogen levels are balanced and they're at their highest state, and your testosterone levels are at their lowest state. So, I just want to put that out there. Anabolism versus catabolism and the difference. And you want to make sure that you promote and you stick to anabolism as much as possible, as opposed to catabolism. That's what I'm all about, the anabolic effect. The catabolism or the catabolic effect, that's for the birds, and that can stay where it's at. I'm not trying to die before my time. Now, nothing's perfect, you know what I'm saying? Like this term that we say, in Haiti, you know what I'm saying? Maladie pas tomber sous pied bois, maladie tomber sous moun. It basically means that, sicknesses don't fall on tree branches, sicknesses fall on people. So we can't help it, you know what I'm saying? You could be the healthiest person in the world. You could get sick. Shoot, you could have something as small as pneumonia. That's what Jack LaLanne had. That's why he died at 96. And you could end up dying. But what I'm trying to say is, for what you can control on your end as much as you possibly can, why not do that? And why not be as anabolic as possible so that you could live on this earth as much as possible? Catabolism, let's make sure that we keep it as baseline as possible. And anabolism, let's make sure we heighten it as much as possible. This is what we want to do. This is what we should do. Like I said, this is Henos' Sport. I'm here to help you folks out, and I'm here to promote healthy well-being and you guys living a long and prosperous life. This is Henos' Sport. Checking out.